And now please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance and the Star-Spangled Banner. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening and greetings from the Swamp in Ponchatoula, Louisiana. We're on the North Shore to bring you an important Thursday night District 6 5A game here on SportsNOLA.com. I am Jude Young, happy to be with you this evening for the matchup between the Mandeville Skippers and the Ponchatoula Green Wave. As the Green Wave takes the field, pyrotechnics and all, in a big contest between these two teams. Ponchatoula 4-0 on the year, including an impressive district opening victory over Covington last week, 33-3. And the rushing attack was in full force in that contest. As you'd expect with a team led by Ja'Kyle Holmes, the quarterback, running the double slot option offense preferred by legendary Louisiana High School football coach Hank Tierney, who's done a fantastic job now in his 6th year at Ponchatoula High. 40-21 now overall, and he's won 261 games in his illustrious coaching career, and he's got the option offense working for a Ponchatoula team and hopes to contend for the district title and take a big step in that direction. They'll have to deal with the Skippers. Mandeville 3-1 on the year, including 2 shutout victories to their credit over Holy Cross and Fontainebleau. That second shutout coming last week in the district opener for Guy LeCompte's Skippers. He's done a fantastic job at Mandeville now in his 12th year, 86-35 overall. Both of these teams made runs in the Class 5A playoffs last year. Both lost to John Ehret. Ponchatoula, after upsetting the number 1 seed, West Monroe, fell to Ehret in the quarterfinals, and Mandeville lost a heartbreaker in the state semifinals, inches away from victory, as Joseph Bulovas' field goal from over 60 yards just fell short at Haas Memphis. That close were the Skippers to going to the Dome. So both of these teams with high expectations, and they'll be competing with St. Paul's more than likely as this district schedule plays out here in 6-5A. So a win tonight could be crucial in the title race. We talked about the outstanding quarterback that runs the option, Ja'Kyle Holmes for Ponchatoula. Mandeville has one of the top 20 passers so far this season in the state. Holmes a senior, but Darren Steele, the Skippers junior, and an offense full of juniors. a threat in the passing game. He really spreads the ball around. But a veteran defense, plenty of seniors on the other side of the ball for Mandeville, and they'll be tested tonight. The matchup between the option offense of Ponchatoula and the Mandeville D will be a fun one this evening. Ponchatoula will kick off to start this game with Carson Wild, the left-footed kicker, southpaw if you will, ready to start things off. And Mandeville will take the field in moments. 3 straight nights of live games here on sportsnola.com, including 2 prep football presented by First NBC Bank contest tonight, and then Saturday from Tad Gormley. I'll be on the call again as we have St. Aug and Brother Martin in a Catholic League affair. But the big one tomorrow night, the rivalry game between Jesuit and Holy Cross, will be live on WHNO, Channel 20 TV, and sportsnola.com. Almost ready to start the ball game here on the North Shore. St. Tammany Fair has led to, as it does once a year, every football season, plenty of North Shore games, including this outstanding matchup as Wild kicks a line drive bouncer down the middle to start things off. And we are underway as a bit of room on the right side on the return for Taryn Jones as he gets it up near the 30-yard line. And that's where Mandeville will start things out with the aforementioned Darren Steele, the junior quarterback, who's also the leading rusher for the Skippers. He's completed 60% of his passes on the year for over 800 yards through the air, 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And the Skippers will start out in the spread with a back to the right of Steele. That's Fritz Walker, who had 2 touchdowns in this matchup last season, in which Mandeville won at home 31-27. Maybe we'll have a repeat of that contest. Bit of a delay in the action. Mandeville ready to roll and at the line of scrimmage, and here we go. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line. First play from scrimmage coming for the Skippers. 2 wide receivers to each side, and it'll be a handoff left to Walker, who cuts up the middle and finds some room, close to about a 5-yard gain by Walker, a 6-foot, 205-pound senior. And balance will be the key for Mandeville. They can do it through the air, but they will lean on Steele and Walker and that zone read in the running game. Mandeville will go with the no-huddle attack throughout the night, making adjustments at the line of scrimmage against the Ponchatoula 4-3 set. Throw over the middle by Steele, complete, and now retreating a bit is Roland Wallace. May have had close to the first down at first, winds up at about the 39-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on the play, so 3rd and a long run, and Mandeville will snap it quickly, and the pass out left is dropped right through the hands of Taryn Jones. Started running before he looked, and as a result, they'll have to punt the ball away. Maybe you would think about going for it early in the contest if it were a bit closer. It's really more like a 2-yard distance to go, so the Skippers will instead punt it away. And it's an outstanding talent in Joseph Bulovas, a Georgia Tech commitment. We expected to punt it away, and that one is a low line drive that will roll near the 20-yard line, dead on the near sideline. And it'll be the first opportunity of the game.
That's where Ponchatoula will put it in play. 1st and 10.
For the Ponchatoula offense, led by the aforementioned Jakyle Holmes. And I'm going to make a correction. We were told that Bulovas would punt, but instead it was Austin Fassane, who plays on the defense as well, who booted that one away. And they're still trying to decide exactly where they want to spot the football. It will be put down at the 21-yard line. And it'll be a chance for Holmes and company to attack for the first time. And on the first play, it's a delayed draw by Holmes. Plenty of room, accelerating up near, and it looks like he has a first down. So right away, and no surprise, Holmes, a dangerous threat on the ground. on the year, now with 64 carries updated for 673 yards, 9 touchdowns, ranking 9th in the state through 4 weeks, and rushing yardage. First down of the game belongs to Ponchatoula. And now Holmes will look to hand it off for the first time off the left side, and plenty of room. Big gainer by Juwan Gross in the Mandeville territory and down to the 42-yard line. And Ponchatoula rolling early in this one. Gain of 26 yards for Gross, who had nearly 300 yards rushing coming into the game, and makes his mark on his first touch tonight. 1st and 10, Green Wave. 2 plays, 2 first downs. First play, they'll run in skipper territory, and it's bobbled on the snap before the handoff. Holmes will try to make what he can, coming to the near sideline and stepping out of bounds for what looks to be a loss of about 2. Getting ahead of himself, it didn't look like he secured the snap very well from the start. And Mandeville getting perhaps a break there as Ponchatoula had quick early momentum. Call it a loss of 1, 2nd and 11 from the Mandeville 43-yard line. 3 split out wide right, and Holmes will look to keep Stutter Step in the backfield and nowhere to go, as Mandeville had several around the play, led by McGee McMullen, the senior linebacker, making the stop. And this offense can be explosive, but Ponchatoula likes to keep it on the ground for the most part. Not as comfortable in these 3rd and long situations, as Holmes will deal with right now with Gross to his right, 3 split wide right as well, and another delayed draw and plenty of room. Holmes, who's very close to a first down, cutting up the middle and then a bit to his left. And I would say they're about a yard short at first glance. So call it a gain of 10 on the play. And this won't require the chains, I don't believe. Spotted at about the 32.5-yard line. Maybe less than a yard to go. And Hank Tierney, no hesitation. Offense stays on the field. And the play is being signaled in. Trey Willie, his quarterback's coach, helps put this offense together with Tierney. In the shotgun, here is Holmes, and another delayed draw, and forget about it. Early penetration, tackled behind the line. Again, it was McMullen, untouched. Maybe going to that well once too often. A loss of 4 on the play and a huge stop for Mandeville to turn it over on downs. So they went to that delayed draw 3 times on the drive. A little bit surprised on 4th. And Mandeville sniffed it out immediately for the big stop, and they're ready to run a play at the line of scrimmage with Steele taking the snap for second possession for the Skippers, and a pass over the middle complete and into Ponchatoula territory for a first down. And the grab made by senior wide receiver Aaron Thompson. And Thompson with a gain of 16 on the play. And Mandeville will run a snap quickly going to the left with Walker, spun out of bounds inside the 40. And very close to the chains once more. Look like he has another first down, so that quick pace offense, call it a gain of 12 for Walker. And Mandeville wasting no time at all, fast break football. Spotted just outside of the Ponchatoula 35. Now Steele will throw a quick hitch right side, complete. Past 1 and 2 tackle attempts is Lavelle Williams, the junior wideout, inside the 30. And we'll look for the spot. Look like a gain of about 8 for Williams. No catching your breath in this one. First quarter. No score, but Mandeville on the move, and Walker will go wide side left again, cut it up inside, to the 25 and down to about the 24-yard line. First down for the Skippers. Give him 5 on the carry. And Mandeville now threatening for the first time tonight with 7:30 and counting opening quarter. Steele with Walker now going in motion late, and a throw over the middle is tipped and caught. It is caught in the red zone for Mandeville as Steele showing off his arm and gunning it into Wallace. Second catch on the drive. Down to the 5-yard line. Gain of 19, first and goal Mandeville. You won't see an offense go much faster than this one. Here's a handoff to Walker, cutting it up, again going left, but stacked up around the line of scrimmage. Not much running room there. May have gotten a yard or so as that play was run from the 6. And a gain of 17 on that completion to Williams. 1 yard on the carry for Fritz Walker. Second and goal for the Skippers, trying to draw first blood in this big 6-5 game here on Sports NOLA. Man in motion to the right. Now Steele will drop deep to throw. Looking for Walker left side. Caught and tackled near the far sideline before he can turn it up and try to reach the pylon. And as a gain again of maybe a yard on the throw. And it'll be third and goal. Now they're spotting it around the 3, so we'll call it a gain of 2. And now Steele will step up in the pocket and fire, and it is through the hands and incomplete near the goal line. And it'll be fourth down as Steele, again, showing off the cannon, not able to put Mandeville in the end zone. And it looks like the Skippers will settle for a field goal, but they'll have an opportunity here with, looks like the hydration timeout coming at an ideal time for Mandeville before a big fourth down. And we'll see how they handle it in moments. And we want to remind you that live prep football in Week 5 continues on Sports NOLA. The first NBC Bank Prep Showcase is live tomorrow night for Louisiana's oldest prep football rivalry as Holy Cross faces Jesuit. Watch it live on WHNO TV Channel 20 and at sportsnola.com. Tomorrow night at 7. That's Holy Cross and Jesuit. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase. Bulovas out to kick what amounts to an extra point distance field goal, and he knocks it through from 22 yards. And Mandeville on the board first. Clock didn't run, so there's still 6:01 to go in the first quarter. And Mandeville leads Ponchatoula by a score of 3-0 here on the sportsnola.com Prep Football presented by First NBC Bank. Mandeville with the 3-0 lead as they score on their second drive of the ball game. And now we'll have the Skippers kick it away from our left to our right. Short kick taken around the 15-yard line and bringing it back towards the middle of the field. Looked like one of the upbacks got his hands on the football. Devontae Joseph on the return to the 24-yard line. So that's where possession number 2 will take place for Fontainebleau, who moved quickly into Mandeville territory but then turned it over on downs. Mandeville defense, as we mentioned, with 2 shutouts already this season, have not given up more in their 3 wins than 14 points, and that a victory against potent U-High in Baton Rouge. And now it's Holmes on the fake and going left and making what he can out of it. And a late flag, the first we've seen tonight, thrown on the field. A gain of 5 on the carry. But we'll see what the flag is for. And it looks like it'll be an incidental face mask on first indication against the Skippers. So they'll mark that off from the end of the run. And that should be very close to a first down. And it will be just enough, although the chain's now told perhaps not to move. Looked like they didn't walk off enough on the penalty. We'll see. And a bit of confusion here as the chain gang now told. Looks like to go back. So Holmes gaining about 4 then on the carry, and Ponchatoula will be just short of a first down if things stay the way they look right now, although 3 officials are trying to figure this out. And as Rick Gailey, our colleague at Sports NOLA, says, when more than 2 officials are having a meeting, not necessarily a good thing. Hard to measure here when the chain's already moved at one point from their initial point. But they will do just that. And Ponchatoula will be about half the football short of the first down. So 4 yards on the run for Holmes officially. And Ponchatoula will have the opportunity to line up here on 2nd and 1. Just over halfway through this opening quarter. Holmes in the gun, takes the snap, and will waggle to the right now, looking deep down the left side, and it is intercepted, way overthrown, hauled in. He did hold on to it. Evan Guillory, the Mandeville safety, with the interception, as that one was 5 yards beyond the intended wide receiver. Looking for Weber, the leading receiver for the Green Wave. So the first turnover of the ball game forced by the Mandeville defense, as Ponchatoula got a little greedy there on 2nd and short, and Mandeville will set up shop around their 20. Fortunately, it's not as hot as it's been. We're starting to get closer to fall-like weather. Could be in the 70s throughout the night. With the pace of play of both of these offenses, the defenses must be grateful. Steele, straight back and throwing over the middle. He was looking again for Wallace, and that at his feet, incomplete. As you can see, the offensive plan for Steele, even when he has plenty of time to throw, the objective is to get rid of the ball quickly. 2nd and 10 now. At the 21. And a run towards the left side. And it's Walker. Not much room over there as the play was stretched out pretty well by the Green Wave. But he made the most of it, wound up getting close to 5, making it 3rd and manageable for Mandeville from their own 26-yard line. A long 5 to go, as Steele will be alone in the shotgun this time around. 2 wide receivers to each side. Straight back to throw. Again he goes under a bit of pressure this time. His throw over the middle is caught. The defensive back slipped down, and there's plenty of room down the middle of the field. And once again, it's Aaron Thompson. A big grab, his 2nd of the game, and a huge gainer for the Mandeville offense into Ponchatoula territory. Marked at the 26. Gain of 48 yards on the play. And that time, a defensive back for Ponchatoula simply slipped down at the worst possible time. Now a screenplay being set up, and it's deflected. Looking left was Steele. And and Jade Coker, a junior defensive lineman for the Green Wave, got his fingers on that pass. 2nd and 10 for the Skippers, just outside of the Green Wave 25-yard line. Mandeville leading already 3-0. Flag comes down, throw up the middle, and wide open, but dropping the football. Roland Wallace has been working that middle of the field early and often in this opening quarter. You have to wonder if it's a motion penalty, and it is, going against Mandeville. The illegal shift against the Skippers. How will Ponchatoula handle this? They almost have to take the penalty, even though it would be 3rd and 10, because of how good Bulovas is as a place kicker. Perhaps they won't. They will decline the penalty. A bit of strategy going into that decision. You don't usually see kickers as good as the one the Skippers can put out there. And Steele will again be by himself in the gun on 3rd and 10. Again, Mandeville wastes no time. Faking as a roll left and now throwing screen set up perfectly to the left side and near the goal line again. Brought down at about the 5. The Mandeville offense is executing so well. Another first down and knocking on the door once more. First and goal for the Skippers. From around the 5. So a gain of about 20 on that play, and now Steele will step up in the pocket, looking to run, and in a whole lot of trouble and brought down for a loss. So that'll be 2nd and goal, and loss of about 2 is that play run from about the 8-yard line. A little difficult to see from our angle here in the twilight as the lights continue to take effect. But Steele can run when called upon, but doesn't very often. But he has 5 touchdowns on the year. We'll take those deep drops, so he's had a few sacks where he's held onto the ball too long, and that time he saw trouble right away. It looks like we have a timeout on the field as the Skippers want to talk about this one with 3:10 to go in the first quarter. Second time they've been knocking on the door. Mandeville leading Ponchatoula 3-0. This is SportsNOLA.com Prep Football presented by First NBC Bank.
Our local Subway restaurant would like to say good luck to the Ponchatoula Green Wave. Wishing our team a safe game and a winning season. Good luck to your Subway family. 3 locations locally in Ponchatoula to serve. Okay, here we go.
Second down and goal for Mandeville after they called their first timeout. Ball spotted at the Ponchatoula 12. Steele will run keeper left and brought down inside the 10. Trying to dive close to the 5. As that was a simple sweep called out of the timeout. And Steele maybe gained about 4. And Mandeville will face 3rd and goal now, right around the 8-yard line. Steele by himself again in the shotgun, and now the offense will look towards that far sideline for perhaps a change of play here. Play clock hasn't been an issue in the first quarter, but now counting down to 5-4, and Mandeville's going to have to use another timeout in the red zone, their second of the half. As you can see, there was a bit of indecision on the sideline with the change of play. 1:23 to go first quarter. And a big situation, because if you're Fontainebleau, another stop right here to force the field goal attempt could perhaps set up a big change in momentum if Ja'Kyle Holmes and the offense get something going. If you're Mandeville, you'd hate to have two opportunities come up with just field goals or less, depending on what happens on this drive. We mentioned District 6 5A, and it really feels like it could be a three-team race with Mandeville, Ponchatoula, and St. Paul's, the latter of which you'd think would be, again, the favorite. But both of these teams awfully talented. Steele will take the snap on 3rd and goal, throw it over the middle, deflected and nearly intercepted, tapped at least 3 times by Jalen Pines. The senior defensive back couldn't bring it in. Almost a one-man juggling act off the initial deflection as the throw was into heavy coverage by Steele towards the back of the end zone. And Pines not able to bring in the INT, but it's 4th down for Mandeville. And they're thinking, it appears, about going for it. They wouldn't want to have to use another time out here to run the field goal team on, and they will indeed try to punch it in on 4th and goal from the 6-yard line. Steele will look to run up the middle, cutting left. He won't get there, will he? No, and the ball's fumbled on top of that. Ponchatoula has it. They've got the stop. They've got a turnover. And a big momentum shift perhaps here late in the first quarter, as the Skippers had that play locked up from the start. Looked like Chris Wells, the linebacker, came out of there with the football as Steele desperately tried to weave his way through traffic into the end zone on the keeper. Probably got about halfway there before losing the ball, but it didn't matter. And Ponchatoula with a huge stop. They'll take over inside their own 10. And Holmes will look to hand off the football. Looking off the right side for a little room, not having much. Jerron Gross. Short gain on 1st down. Gross with just his 2nd touch of the ball game. Had a 26-yard run on his 1st carry. Here, not much. Maybe a yard on the play. 2nd and long for the Green Wave. Near the shadow of their own goalpost after the big stop by their defense. And now Holmes off the left side. Plenty of room. Spins by one defender and up to the 25-yard line. His longest run of the night so far. Gain of 16 and a 1st down for Ponchatoula. So Mandeville, with goal-to-go opportunities twice, ends up with a field goal and a turnover on downs, and now Ponchatoula looking to put their first complete drive together. Here's the handoff and trying to run over one defender, not able to do so, and now a Mandeville linebacker, it looks like, trying to say that he stripped the football. Looks like that's Terrell Anderson coming out of there with it, but Gross was called down after a decent gain of about 4. 2nd and 6 for Ponchatoula at the 29. Pistol look this time, and a handoff and a tackle for a loss in the backfield. Gross taken down by the ankles right away. Instant penetration. And that was Anderson reading the play right away. A loss of 3 on the play. Another 3rd and long situation for Ponchatoula. We're inside 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Will the Green Wave get the play off? Looks like they will. 2 seconds to go. And it'll be a Holmes keeper faking right now, coming left and coming way short of the 1st down. And once more, Anderson in the backfield and creating havoc right away, and winds up making the play after about a gain of only 4 as we reach the end of this opening quarter. Mandeville's had the better of it. They're up 3-0, and they could have had a lot more. We'll be back for quarter number 2 here on Sports NOLA. This is Prep Football presented by First NBC Bank. 42-yard punt. And for the second time, Ponchatoula will start a drive inside their own 10. So the field position game, for the most part, has been won by Mandeville. Ponchatoula will again have to go pretty much the length of the field if they want to get themselves on the board here in this opening half. At the Swamp on the North Shore. Great to be able to bring you Sports NOLA Prep Football presented by First NBC Bank for the first time, as Holmes will fake and keep and be tackled behind the line of scrimmage. And I tell you what, the second level of the Mandeville defense has been on point. And they've made penetration early and often. It looked like Fontainebleau in on the play from the second level safety spot as he's playing around the line of scrimmage. Loss of 1 for Holmes. 2nd and 11 for the Green Wave, and a swarm in the backfield. And lucky not to be caught in his own end zone. And Gross right away, just eaten up in the backfield. Another loss of 2. And Mandeville's winning at the point of attack against the Ponchatoula offense. Awfully impressive first half of the Skippers here, away from home in a big ball game. Third and long for Ponchatoula. And we have a whistle and a timeout. The Green Wave will take their first of the half here with 8:37 to go. 3-0 Mandeville on the North Shore. Sports NOLA Prep Football presented by First NBC Bank. Jude Young, happy to be with you at Ponchatoula High tonight. 3-0 Mandeville, and the host Green Wave facing another 3rd and long here from their own 3-yard line. 3rd and 13 on the play. Holmes takes the snap and will look to try to get out of his end zone if he can, and he can't, but they may call a horse collar or face mask on the play. Would have been a safety otherwise. But that penalty will go against Fontainebleau, and it will save the Green Wave. Personal foul, a call on the face mask. And a 15-yard penalty will probably be assessed from the line of scrimmage. Austin Fontainebleau, who's had a busy half, looked like he might be able to catch Holmes for the safety. Big turn of events as a result. Instead of 3-2, it's a first down and some breathing room for Ponchatoula. They assess the penalty from the goal line, it appears. And the Green Wave will keep possession with 8.5 minutes to go in the quarter. And half in the Swamp. Holmes and company look to get things going. It is a handoff left side, and first carry of the game brought down from behind after a short gain is Jaquan Johnson on the fly sweep, the junior. Maybe a gain of 3, call it 2 on the play on Johnson's first carry. He will get a few touches as a runner. That's his 23rd of the year now for 139 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Jaquan Johnson really the only other player other than Holmes or Gross who will run for the football in this offense. 2nd down and long. Holmes rolls, looks to throw under heavy pressure, will eat it at around his 10-yard line. Several Skippers in on the play, and leading the charge Brad McQueen. Once again, Anderson with heavy penetration as well, along with McMullen. So take your pick. But Brandon McQuinn, a 6'5" senior, making the play. 3rd and 14, not what this offense is built for. And they'll roll Holmes right to make room for a pass that's complete, and will gain a first down and more up near the 40-yard line. Big play in the passing game when they needed it to Jacob Lefevre, the senior wide receiver. Big play for Ponchatoula. Up to the 39-yard line. 29 yards on the play. As the short passing game opened up quickly in the right flat. First completion of the night for Holmes, and now looking to run and slipping and being eaten up on the play by Anderson for another loss. It's been the theme of the half. Loss of 1 on the play, and plays behind the line of scrimmage for Mandeville. That's 6 tackles for loss unofficially in this first half. But Ponchatoula one big play away, potentially from taking the lead, but facing another 2nd and long, 2nd and 11. They'll go straight up the gut this time. And initial early surge good for Gross. Winds up gaining 4 yards on the play. 3rd and 7 for Ponchatoula at their 42. And we have an official timeout. The hydration break still in effect here in quarter number 2. So Ponchatoula may not feel good about the way they've played this first 18 minutes. But it's only 3-0. That's the bright side. But this Mandeville defense has had the better of it, to say the least, in the first half. SportsNOLA.com prep football presented by First NBC Bank as a Catholic League matchup Saturday night as the St. Augustine Purple Knights meet the Brother Martin Crusaders at Tad Gormley. It's the Battle of Gentilly, Saturday at 7, live here on SportsNOLA.com as part of the Brother Martin broadcast. You can also hear on the radio if you're moving around on a Saturday night on WGSO 990 AM and on the TuneIn app for audio only. Hydration break, a free timeout at a good time for Ponchatoula as they look to convert another 3rd down on this possession. Holmes with Gross to his left. 1 man in the slot left, 2 wide receivers wide left, and a quick pitch out. And plenty of room, accelerating in the Mandeville territory. Call it a run. 2nd of the game for Joquan Johnson. And a big one for a first down. Gain of 13. And Ponchatoula needing to be a bit more creative to get things going. They started this drive inside their own 5, now in Mandeville territory. At the skipper, 45. And it will be a keeper on the fake handoff and plenty of room for Holmes. And Holmes in the open field, he may take it to the out. Weaves his way to the far sideline and he scores. 45 yards. What did we say? One big play would be all it would take. And Mandeville, after dominating for so long here in the first half, trailing Ponchatoula first score and first lead of the night. A 97-yard drive unofficially for the Greenway. Talk about a potential big swing in this ballgame. We'll see as Wild will look to tack on the extra point. Snap and hold good. Kick is up, and it's wobbly, and it is wide to the left. Didn't get good wood, if you will, on that. So the missed PAT comes at 5:25 to go opening half. And Ponchatoula now in the lead for the first time over Mandeville. We expected a shootout tonight. We haven't gotten it, but it's been a good ball game so far. And both of these teams understand the importance of the contest. A leg up early in the district schedule with both to face St. Paul's later on in the slate. Mandeville won last year by 4 at home. But Ponchatoula, talk about an answer after a punt pinned them deep in their own territory. Now Wild will look to kick it away. The first NBC Bank Prep Showcase is live tomorrow night for Louisiana's oldest prep football rivalry. Holy Cross, the Tigers versus the Blue Jays of Jesuit High. Watch it live on WHNO TV Channel 20 and on SportsNOLA.com tomorrow night at 7. That's Holy Cross and Jesuit tomorrow night on the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase. Part of the Great American Classic Rivalry Series. Holy Cross won in double overtime last year. So Jesuit looking for revenge. Wild will kick it away. And deep near the goal line, but not into the end zone, so a return is possible up the far sidelines. And room, but not a lot of it, to around the 20-yard line. Looks like Taryn Jones on the run back. Good coverage by the special teams for Ponchatoula. Now, if you're Mandeville, you feel like opportunities lost so far in the half. Drop passes after an eligible man down field penalty killed a drive in Ponchatoula territory last possession. But receivers have been open for Steele, and for the most part, he's had time to throw. This time, he'll look to hand it off to Walker, who cuts it up after being stretched out to the left and finds nice room to about the 26-yard line. It looked like Billy Walsh, the senior linebacker, making the stop. But a good gain on first down for Mandeville, having a bit more balance offensively with the running game. Walker being the workhorse back here. Gain of 6, so 2nd and 4. And Steele will fire over the middle and has his man caught right at the 30-yard line, so perhaps a bit short of the sticks. And it was Wallace who hauled it in. And he's going to be about a yard or so short of the first down. Third catch for Wallace in the half. And now Mandeville will look to move quickly, and they won't get the first down, as the snap is fumbled away by Steele. But Mandeville able to retain possession. Untimely bobble there. Should be a loss of 1 on the play, and Mandeville keeping the offense on the field. Wow, I'm shocked. Inside their own 30, they're lining up to go for it. They do have a timeout left if they want to burn it. Here inside 4 minutes to go. 8 on the play clock and counting. Maybe they're trying to draw Ponchatoula off sides. That appears to be the case with 3 on the play clock, 2, 1. And I believe Mandeville got the timeout called in time. And they do their last timeout of the half. It wouldn't have made a whole lot of sense to go for it on 4th down. Now they'll look to kick it away with 3:36 to go. And a pair will drop back deep for Ponchatoula. Jalen Pines and Dariel Wells, 2 senior cornerbacks for the Green Wave. Mandeville's ready to boot this ball away, but the officials holding things up after the timeout, and now ready to whistle the ball back into play. Another chance for Fassane. He's under pressure this time, but gets it away. High, and a fair catch called for and made by Pines at his own 36-yard line.
He took it right at the 41-yard line. First and 10 Greenway from that point.
So it'll be a 37-yard punt. And Ponchatoula, after scoring on their last drive, courtesy of the 45-yard run by Ja'Kyle Holmes, his 10th touchdown on the ground of the year. Now with a chance to really flip this game on its head if they can punch it in once more late in the half. Plenty of time to do so. A couple of timeouts in hand, and now it'll be a pitch out, and that looked to be a forward pitch, but not much doing. Actually, a loss of one on the play as Jaquan Johnson, a play they ran to the left side on the last drive to great effect, this time leads to a loss of 1 yard. But Ponchatoula has had a bit more success as of late with quicker developing plays. Mandeville with a three-man front. They run a 3-5 defense, and that front three doing the job there as they crushed Gross right at the line of scrimmage. Excellent job of winning at the point of attack by Malcolm Johnson along with Tyler Kearns. And that's been the key. Big plays so far. Correction, that was Damani Boyd helping out on the stop from his right end spot. 3rd and long. Holmes will keep and be tripped up in the backfield and lose about 2. And Mandeville forcing a very quick 3 and out. And they've made numerous plays behind the line of scrimmage, and they won at the line of scrimmage. 3 straight plays right there, but no timeouts left for Mandeville to save time as the clock will run inside 2 minutes to go. As Wild will look again to punt it away. Mandeville creeping up at the line, perhaps looking to bring some extra pressure here, as it looks like Ponchatoula trying to let that clock run down. Play clock at 12, game clock at 1:42. Now they will snap it, and under pressure and hit on the kick, but no flag coming down, as Wild maybe a bit of an acting job. Didn't get off a very good kick as it goes out of bounds far side at the 45-yard line. Maybe a bit too concerned about pulling off the acting job there under pressure. Just a 19-yard punt, and he will limp off the field. But the hanky did not come out of the official's pocket. Now with 1:33 to go, good field position for Mandeville. Try to get a score on the board to tie or take the lead here before the half. Save for the 97-yard touchdown drive. Ponchatoula's offense has been handled by the Skippers in this first half, while Darren Steele and company on offense have moved the ball somewhat consistently tonight. Walker stretched out left. The flag comes down, and he won't have much, cutting it up for what he can. Maybe a gain of 2 on the play. Clock will stop with 1:25 on what looks to be a violation going against Mandeville. We'll see what the call is. That play was stretched out well at the line of scrimmage by Ponchatoula, and a holding call will push the Skippers back. And it was Cameron Davis, the left tackle, called for the hold as he tried to stay with his man as Walker continued to work towards the near sideline and got caught with his hands a little bit too grabby on the jersey there. It will be 1st and 20 from the 35 of Mandeville. Skippers have had a lot of success throwing between the hash marks over the middle. We'll see if they attack that area of the field, as Ponchatoula playing within 7 yards of the line of scrimmage, 10 of the 11 defenders. Steele with plenty of time now, forced out of the pocket. Under pressure, rolling right now, looking down the field. Lofts one to an open receiver. It's Walker who snuck out and caught it complete and is knocked out of bounds near the Fontainebleau 20-yard line. Steele buying time. Walker lost in coverage. Huge play for Mandeville. A 43-yard connection. First grab of the night. Actually, the second of the night for Walker. Now Steele right back to it with a minute to go and counting in the half. The fade route is open, but just overthrown inside the near pylon at the goal line. Intended for Taron Jones, and he was open. Steele just a little bit too much loft under that one after the beautiful throw with touch. Walker had to adjust a little bit with his body to turn towards the throw and make the catch. But a big catch it was. The gain of 43. 2nd and 10 from the 21. Walker in motion late. Steele plenty of time this time to throw. Now the blocking breaks down. He rolls left. The right-handed quarterback will chuck one back in the end zone, and he overthrew once again an open receiver. Aaron Thompson had gotten behind the last line of defense, but that difficult throw for a right-handed quarterback rolling left shows you the arm of Steele. He had plenty on it. In fact, too much. As the clock stops with 46.3 to go on the scoreboard clock. Mandeville definitely in field goal range for Joseph Bulovas, but they'd like more. 3rd and 10 from the 21. Steele again with time, throwing right sideline and overthrowing Walker, who was covered anyway. Good coverage that time. Everybody blanketed by the Ponchatoula secondary. And we'd think that Mandeville will kick the field goal here with the Georgia Tech commit. Looks like they're going to go for it. So Bulovas not punting tonight, even though he's the normal punter. Perhaps there's an injury we don't know about. We certainly weren't told about it before the game. Mandeville doesn't have any timeouts, so they're not lining up to try to draw Ponchatoula off sides on 4th and 10. Will they get the play off? 4 on the play clock, 3-2, and the snap there, and a big 4th down play as Steele will fire it into the end zone and jumping and gouging it inside the goal line for the touchdown Skippers. What a big play. Another rifle shot into the end zone, and it looked like Lavelle Williams extended and came down with it. Touchdown Mandeville. Skippers take the lead with 33.4 seconds to go in the half. Wow. Big moment on 4th down. Second big throw of the drive. And a touchdown pass in the final minute of the half. The extra point is up. And it is no good. And Bulovas must be hurt because that wasn't him kicking it. That was Drake Graham, listed as a defensive back, missing the PAT. Something's going on with the outstanding Skippers kicker, and that could prove very costly indeed. We know Mandeville win it for it on 4th down inside the 10 earlier, and now they missed an extra point, and that makes it 12-6. And that really helping Ponchatoula out. Huge drive for the Skippers late in the half, a 55-yard scoring march, and it was pretty much all through the right arm of Darren Steele, the junior quarterback. The big 43-yard pass to Fritz Walker. And then the 4th down conversion, finding Lavelle Williams for the first time tonight for a 21-yard score. Not much time left in the half, and it will be Graham who will kick it away. And right down the middle of the field, actually gets it nearly in the end zone for a touchback. Fielded at the 1, right up the middle and stacked up at the 20-yard line on the return. Good coverage by the Skippers as Johnson ran it back 19 yards. And Ponchatoula, not a quick strike passing offense, has 25 seconds left. They can do what they want here with Mandeville not having any timeouts. You'd think they'd look to run something simple and see if Holmes or Gross can break one. Other than that, be happy to get to the locker room. Instead, it's a formation under center just to kneel on it and take a 6-point deficit into the locker room. So Mandeville with a 9-6 lead, but they've dominated most of the half.
Ponchatoula 6, Mandeville 9.
Bulovas made the short field goal early. We haven't seen him since, and that's been a factor. And after a 97-yard scoring drive for Ponchatoula, capped by the 45-yard run by Holmes, late in the half, Mandeville marches 55 yards of their own. Steal on 4th down. Finding Lavelle Williams, the junior wideout, in the end zone. Great throw, great catch. And it's a 3-point advantage for the visiting Skippers here at the Swamp at the half. Jude Young, happy to be with you. And we have a couple of reminders here on this presentation of SportsNOLA.com Prep Football presented by First NBC Bank. It will be the First NBC Bank Prep Showcase live tomorrow night, both on WHNO TV and SportsNOLA.com at 7 o'clock. Louisiana's oldest prep football rivalry, Holy Cross, the Tigers taking on Jesuit, the Blue Jays, and a Catholic League tilt. That's Holy Cross and Jesuit tomorrow night on the First NBC Bank Prep Showcase, and we'll have another Catholic League affair just on Sports NOLA live as SportsNOLA.com Prep Football presented by First NBC Bank has St. Aug against Brother Martin, the Purple Knights and the Crusaders in the Battle of Gentilly, Saturday at 7, right here on SportsNOLA.com. We'll take this time out. Got to thank, though, Albert Garrett doing a great job on the camera, and Chip Merritt producing the broadcast here tonight in Ponchatoula. I am Jude Young. We'll take this break, and we'll come back and have an exciting, I'm sure, second half of District 6-5A football right here on Sports NOLA.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the field the Mandeville High School Skipper Marching Band and Dance Team. good to hear music from the 80s. What up? Let's give one more round of applause for the Mandeville High School marching band and dance team. Thank you for that entertaining show. For your continued halftime entertainment, please welcome the 2016 edition of our exciting spirit group, the Wavettes Dance Team, and the Ponchatoula Green Wave Band and Color Guard. Before beginning our show, we also wish to acknowledge our PHS cheerleaders and their sponsors, Miss Tracy Pendarvis and Miss Alex Pop. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication to this year's squad. Cheerleader of the Week is Jenna Anderson. Last week's Cheerleader of the Week was Dominique Banks. The band is under the direction of Mr. James Ivan Square. On the field, the band is under the command of drum majors Sean A. Hill and Gabrielle Moran. For tonight's show, we are proud to showcase one of our spirit groups, the Wavettes Dance Team. Faculty sponsors this year are Miss Erica Morse and Miss Carmen Zuniga. Officers are Sergeant Mallory Sprague, Lieutenants Alexandra Prevailed and Haley Vignair, Co-Captain Shaughnessy James, and Captain Alexa Madron. Congratulations to Mallory Miette, who was selected as Wavette of the Week. Congratulations to Claire Criswell, who was last week's Wavette of the Week. Tonight is Throwback Night for the Wavettes. We hope that you enjoy this high-kicking routine to this perennial crowd favorite. Many of you, both young and old, have asked for it. Well, folks, here it is. The Bill Moffitt Sound Perry Series arrangement of The Horse. This is for you, Miss Rose Dominguez. Congratulations to Wavettes and our color guard for earning first place trophies in the high school division at last night's Shake, Rattle, and Bowl Spirit Group competition at the Parish Fair in NAB. We are all proud of you. Faculty color guard sponsors are Miss Charlotte Bickham and Miss Jay Pierce. Congratulations to Savannah Phillips, who was chosen Guard of the Week this week. Also, congratulations to Candace Richardson for being selected Guard of the Week last week. This year's theme is Dragon Training, with music from the DreamWorks motion picture, How to Train Your Dragon. You will see this show develop over the next several weeks as the band prepares for its busy October competition season. Under the command of drum majors Gabrielle Moran and Sharnae Hill, here is the Ponchatoula Green Wave Band and Color Guard. Be sure to visit the concession stand where the boosters will be glad to serve you a delicious snack and refreshing drink. Thanks also to the band's corporate sponsors for your generous support. A special thanks to Acadian Cypress, Mr. Frank Vallow, proprietor, for sponsoring the Pastelaya Pot, and tonight's chef, Mr. Richard Moore. We hope that you enjoyed tonight's halftime entertainment. Now let's get ready for the second half of exciting Green Wave football action. We hope you enjoyed our halftime entertainment. Take your tickets out. I'm going to draw for the 50-50 raffle ticket winners. Let's give another round of applause for the Ponchatoula High School marching band and color guard and Wayback dance team. Great job tonight. All right, let's see who the trustee winner is of the 50-50 raffle ticket. You have 5 minutes to go down by where you bought the ticket. 5 minutes to claim your money. If not, I have a backup ticket. All right, 571-8012. 8012 is the winning 50-50 raffle ticket winner. They didn't tell me what the pot was worth, but hey, even $1 means something these days. Once again, 8012.
And the two teams are beginning their warm-ups for half number 2 after the band and dance team entertainment here at the Swamp in Ponchatoula. Week 2 of District 6-5A at play. 2 1-0 teams in the league, and it's Mandeville leading Ponchatoula by a score of 9-6 at the half. A couple of other scores of interest here on the North Shore. Talk about an old rivalry like Jesuit and Holy Cross that will bring you tomorrow night on WHNO and Sports NOLA. Covington and Slidell, one of the older rivalry games in the state, and it's all Covington at the half. They lead 21-3. Lions over Tigers there. And North Shore with a 13-3 lead at the break over Fontainebleau. Here, a lower scoring game than expected, but field position and not cashing in the red zone, a bit of the story to explain that. But really the half, even though with just a 3-point lead, belonged for the most part to the Skippers. They went on top early with a 22-yard field goal by Joseph Bulovas, who apparently either was dealing with an injury that we didn't hear about before the game or suffered one early on and was not able to kick or punt after that, usually handling both duties, the Georgia Tech commitment. And Mandeville wound up going for it on 4th down inside the 10-yard line. And another occasion after that, not only stopped on the run was quarterback Darren Steele, but he fumbled inside the 5. And Fontainebleau able to take over. And Ponchatoula had bad field position throughout the half, but after being pinned deep on a punt at their own 3-yard line, they put together a 97-yard scoring drive, capped by a 45-yard run, the 10th touchdown of the year for quarterback Jekyle Holmes on the ground. And earlier in that drive, a big pass play to Jacob Lefevre of 29 yards on 3rd down inside their own 20. A big moment for the Green Wave to set up the touchdown, the only score of the half for Ponchatoula. They did not cash in on the extra point try, missed wide left by Carson Wild. But Mandeville late in the first half, able to go 55 yards to take the lead, and it was all on account of 2 big pass plays after a holding penalty. A 43-yard connection steal to running back Fritz Walker got the Skippers to the 21-yard line. But then after a series of incomplete passes, what happened? A huge 4th down play. Steele gunning one just over the goal line to a leaping Lavelle Williams, a 21-yard score with just over 33 seconds left on the clock at the time. Gave Mandeville the lead at the break. The extra point kick by substitute kicker Drake Graham, nowhere close, and the Skippers had to be content with taking a 6-3 lead at the break over the Green Wave. Ponchatoula undefeated on the year coming in. Mandeville 3-1 if you're just joining us. Both teams run the spread and no huddle, but Ponchatoula likes to keep the ball on the ground, but the Skippers defense has been winning consistently at the line of scrimmage, save for the long touchdown drive. And Mandeville doing most of their damage through the air, as Steele has been able to spread the ball around to several receivers, including Walker with that big catch as mentioned. 3 catches in the first half as well for Roland Wallace for Mandeville, part of a balanced attack. But they'll have more work to do as they're set to take the football to start half number 2. Just seconds away here at the Swamp, and they have a brand new scoreboard they're hoping to debut next week. But that not being able to be installed and set up in time tonight. It is a short week, of course, with the St. Tammany Fair here on the North Shore. And I make a correction, it was Mandeville who received the opening kickoff, so they'll kick it away here from our left to our right. And we'll see if it is once again Graham who will handle the kicking duties. It was Austin Fassane who was handling the punting duties after Bulovas was not able to continue. 3 back deep for Ponchatoula. Jalen Pines, Darrell Wells, sometimes back there, but this time it's Joquan Johnson, Davis James, and Devontae Joseph will return 1 kick in the half, and is another short kick that will go and is fumbled by Joseph. After the scramble, he swarmed under inside his own 20-yard line at about the 18, and that's where Ponchatoula will take over, and they should be used to it. Bad field position They've been inside their 20 to start several drives in this game, and will do so here. Jakyle Holmes, the quarterback, a dangerous threat as a runner. And he, with his 10th touchdown of the year on the ground in the first half, came into this game after 4 weeks we're back, and a great catch by Bazia Williams. Bazia Williams with the grab on third down. We're sorry you missed it, but a juggling catch over the middle. Bobbled it 3 times, able to haul it in for a huge first down, converting on third and long. And after a gain of 5 on first down, we go to the fourth quarter. After a third period that was all Ponchatoula, they lead 13-9 and are on the march again against Mandeville here on SportsNOLA.com. Prep football presented by First NBC Bank. Who ran on that last play? Any idea? Just guess it's Gross. Why would it stop working? Is it working now, though? Okay, put me back on. Oh, well, thank you for letting me know we're live. Wonderful. We go to the fourth quarter. I'm dealing with some technical difficulties here. Again, we apologize. 2nd and 5 for Ponchatoula at the 25. And the Green Wave, looking for revenge from last year, a loss at Mandeville. And more importantly, trying to stay undefeated and go 2-0 in District 6-5A play. Here's Holmes with Johnson in motion. And Holmes pulls that out of his gut at the very last second. And lucky to be holding on to the football as he swarmed under for a loss. 2 or 3 Mandeville defenders on the play on a loss of 4. Forcing Ponchatoula once again into 3rd and long. Call it 9 from the 29. And certainly testing the limits of field goal range with a 4-point lead. Holmes will keep looking to run left and again brought down for a loss. And again, Mandeville making plays up front. Damani Boyd, who's done a fine job in the middle of that skipper defensive line, wraps up Holmes and brings him down for a loss of 2. So interestingly, from the middle of the field, Ponchatoula will line up in field goal formation, and Carson Wild, who's 2 for 2 on the year with a 38-yarder is long, gets all of that one, and it is good. A 47-yard bomb by Carson Wild cleared the crossbar easily by at least 10 yards, his long of the season, and that puts Ponchatoula up by 7 with 10:38 to go. 16-9, Green Wave in the lead, their second scoring drive of the half. They took over at their own 47. So the scoring drive, 24 yards. Mandeville probably felt pretty good about their chances, but Wild, Carson Wild, a senior, 5'11", 190, with a huge kick. And a 7-point lead as a result for Ponchatoula. But we know Mandeville's capable of putting things together offensively with Darren Steele pulling the trigger. Now Wild, the lefty, will look to boot it away. As the crowd steadily filled in right before kickoff on this Thursday night on the North Shore. Good crowd on hand on the opposite sideline from the visiting Mandeville fans as well. Here's Wild's kick, and it should be returnable at the 5, and it is. And Mandeville finding some room on the return far sideline to about the 30-yard line. That one just short of the goal line on the kick. It's hard to see who brought that one back. But the blocking very good up front as well. And Mandeville with a little breathing room here to start the possession, or a little bit of pressure after leading 9-6 at the half. 10 unanswered points by Ponchatoula. And Mandeville will look to get in rhythm here with the no huddle. Walker with a handoff. Hesitated for a moment. Might have cost him more yardage there running right up the gut. Didn't get much as a result. There's a bit of a stutter step there. And brought down pretty quickly. Logan Sanders, the defensive lineman, making the play. And now Mandeville trying to do it on the ground again and nothing doing, as Walker tried to make a cut and slipped down that time, losing a yard or two. So Mandeville, maybe because of that pass rush we've seen from Ponchatoula, trying to get the running game going, but Walker with a pair of unproductive carries. 3rd and 10 as a result for the Skippers at their 29-yard line. Steele and Walker react to the play call from the sidelines. Walker switches sides of the quarterback, and a look over to him leads to a pass to the right side. That will not gain the first down, as the quick hitter to Lavelle Williams. And a guy who's made himself a factor here in the second half, Tyreek Gibson, has been a terror off the edge since the break. That time able to make the play in space, recognized what Mandeville was trying to do. As the Skippers gained about 5 on the play, on the 4th catch of the game. Actually, just the 2nd catch of the game for Lavelle Williams, who had the touchdown in the first half. Now the short punt by Fossane, a fair catch, signaled and made by Dariel Wells at his 34-yard line. And Mandeville has not been able to get anything going consistently here in the second half. Now trailing by a touchdown, their defense needs to come up with a stop with 8:41 to go. You knew Mandeville would regret missed opportunities in the first half. Twice inside the 5-yard line on drives, with only a field goal and a turnover on downs the result. Now it's Holmes faking, keeping, room to the 40, to the 50. He may go all the way with that breakaway speed. 20, and brought down, knocked out of bounds inside the 15 to about the 11. And this game has definitely turned the way of the Green Wave. "60 yards on the run, longest of the night for Ja'Kyle Holmes. And that puts him well over the 100-yard mark. He has a 45-yard touchdown run to his credit. But that big run now opening up some room in the middle for Gross, who powers down to around the 5, a gain of 6. Mandeville under pressure now for a stop as the clock ticks near the 8-minute mark. Any kind of score for Ponchatoula here means a 2-score lead and trouble for Mandeville. Gross lined up to the right of Holmes. Will take the handoff and bounce off of one Mandeville defender, but then a swarm will take care of him for a loss on the play. Forward progress to the 6, so a loss of 1. And it'll be 3rd and goal for the Green Wave. So it's been a battle all night for Holmes and this offense. But a couple of big runs, one leading directly to a touchdown, and another here setting up this opportunity as Holmes keeps and will go untouched into the end zone off the fake right side. 5 yards out. Touchdown number 3 of the night for Ja'Kyle Holmes. Make it 12 on the season. And a 22-9 lead with the extra point pending. And Ponchatoula able to go with their bread and butter now, and Holmes making plays in the running game. The snap is good, the kick is up, and it is good by Carson Wild. With 7:14 to go, Ponchatoula pitching a shutout here in the second half. 17 unanswered points to lead 23-9. This is SportsNOLA.com Prep Football presented by First NBC Bank. Unofficially, Ja'Kyle Holmes now with 175 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. A 2-score lead for Ponchatoula in this kickoff return. Showing some promise. Another decent return for Mandeville up to around the 30-yard line. The run back by Evan Guillory. But now Mandeville has work to do. Down 2 touchdowns. And no time to try to reestablish any kind of running game. You have to believe the right arm of steel will have to get it done if Mandeville's going to get back into this game. 3 wideouts lined up wide left. Walker to the right of Steele in the backfield, and now a flag comes down with movement at the line of scrimmage. Ponchatoula lineman may have jumped, but was he drawn first? No, the officials say encroachment going against the Green Wave, so 5 yards. And what's been a pretty cleanly played game, we've had a couple of horse collar tackles, or a horse collar and a face mask, crucial face mask, where it appeared that Terrell Anderson had brought down Ja'Kyle Holmes in the end zone. That was a lifesaver on a drive that wound up turning into a touchdown for Ponchatoula. Now a pass over the middle, incomplete. Steele looking for Roland Wallace over the middle. Clock stops with 6:53 to go. Steele can't afford to be inaccurate now. 2nd and 5. Drops back, fires far sideline, complete, caught, first down past the 40. And a late flag comes in that's probably going to add 15 more on for Mandeville. Not sure if a late hit was the call on the play, but 2 flags came in. We'll wait for the symbol, but this should put Mandeville into Ponchatoula territory. Personal foul, the call against the Green Wave. Unofficially, a gain of 7 on the play. On the catch by Roland Wallace. Ball marked at the 43. First time in the second half for Mandeville in Ponchatoula territory. And they need a touchdown. Handoff to Walker. Left side with room to the 40. Leaps over 1 tackle attempt by Jalen Pines. And Walker gaining about 9 on the play. Call it 8, 2nd and 2 at the 35 for Mandeville. Unfortunately for them, in a situation like this, their offense built for the hurry-up. With the clock ticking inside 6:20 to go. Steele, straight drop, still dropping, now has Walker open and fires one complete, caught near the 25-yard line. First down, Mandeville. Gain of about 10 on the play.
Mosley makes a tackle, but it's enough for another skipper first down.
And that's Walker's 7th grab of the night. Big one earlier for 43 and a lot of dump-offs that didn't go anywhere otherwise. And at 6:07 to go, Mandeville has 1st and 10 from the 25, but our last heat and hydration break comes as Mandeville desperately needs to punch one across the goal line. We remind you that tomorrow night the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase is live for Louisiana's oldest prep football rivalry. It's Holy Cross and Jesuit. Watch it live on WHNO TV 20 and SportsNola.com. That's the Holy Cross Tigers and Jesuit Blue Jays tomorrow night on the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase. Through 3 quarters, Covington still holding a 21-3 lead over Slidell, another 6-5A contest. But it's Ponchatoula in position now to go to 2-0 in league play and stay undefeated on the year. Had that big win earlier in the year at Acadiana by a point. Tough place to play against a great program. Tough to play this Mandeville team that defensively was close to perfect in the first half. Since then, the Green Wave have cranked up that great running game. Fake of the handoff, Steele avoids one defender rolling left. Still looking downfield, no way he can throw it, and he winds up taking it out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. On the pursuit, amongst many, Jack Hay, a senior defensive lineman. And that's been one of the keys here in the second half. The Ponchatoula front four has started to generate real pressure on a Mandeville offense that really hasn't run it all that effectively. And we're getting the job done with the passing game. Now Steele seeing a lot more pressure. 2nd and 10. He'll throw out right complete to Lavelle Williams, who will take it just inside the 20. Gain of 5, maybe 6 on the play. Williams, who had a 21-yard touchdown catch on 4th down in the first half. Sets up Mandeville with a 3rd and 4. In the red zone. Clock nearing 5 minutes to go. Steele takes the snap. Pump fake and will go deep. The fade route into the end zone is underthrown and falls incomplete. Not the placement that Steele wanted on that pass as he was looking for Teron Jones. And credit Avery Rogers, the cornerback, just a junior, for good coverage on the play. And it looked like neither receiver really found the ball in the air as it fluttered for a while. Now we have a flag on the play as they're going to say it was an illegal procedure against Mandeville. So that may wipe out the play. Not a dead ball foul, so I don't think they'll take the penalty, and Ponchatoula will not. It's declined. As a result, do or die for the Skippers. 4th down and about 4, just inside the 20. Mandeville must keep this drive alive, or Ponchatoula probably salts this one away. Low snap, and they go with the run, and it's a end around and having plenty of room, but falling down as Walker got rid of it on the second handoff just in time, but then Lavelle Williams slipped untouched at his own 30-yard line. Wow. That has to hurt. First carry of the game with the razzle-dazzle by Mandeville, and it looked like plenty of room for Williams if he kept his feet, but he fell down on his own. Losing 11 and turning it over on downs with 4:55 left. Mandeville just hasn't made the plays here in the second half. And going with a true reverse there on the play. The handoff to Walker running right. He had 2 or 3 defenders right in his face when he handed off to Williams. Williams had room, but fell down. Now Ponchatoula look to salt away the clock, and they'll go with their big running back, Juwan Gross, 230-pounder, who's had to work for every yard he's gained tonight. Gain of 2 for him. But if you're Ponchatoula, you're not concerned. As long as that clock keeps running, now inside 4.5 to go. And they'll slow up and wait for the play call as a result. Jacob Lefevre has 2 big catches on the night to convert third downs, checks back in and lines up in the slot left. But I think it's safe to say the Green Wave will keep the ball on the ground as the play clock ticks down to 5 seconds. And Holmes will hand it off again to Gross, who pulls one Mandeville defender with him for an extra yard, if that. As Terrell Anderson met Gross at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 2 more on the play, setting up 3rd and 6. Mandeville not using timeouts yet, as the clock ticks at 3:35 and counting. Ponchatoula close to win number 2 in district play. And an opportunity to be undefeated halfway through the regular season. Again, a handoff, keeping it very simple as Gross falls forward. And probably another 2-yard run. 3 of those in a row, and on 4th down, Ponchatoula would be content to punt the ball away after running precious seconds off the clock, which will count inside 3 minutes to go before the Green Wave try to boot it away. And Mandeville saving their timeouts at this point. Carson Wild back deep to punt it away. He nailed a 47-yard field goal here in the second half. Ponchatoula has made it a tale of 2 very different halves of play. High snap at Wild, able to handle it under no pressure. Kicks a low line drive. A late fair catch call is made by Lavelle Williams at the 31-yard line of Mandeville. So Wild able to avoid potential disaster there, but didn't get much on the punt. Unofficially 32 yards on the boot with 2.5 minutes left. So Mandeville still with life. But now they need to hurry. Steele has not had much success throwing the ball here in the second half. And he's been running for his life at times under pressure and immediately bails out of the pocket to his right, firing too high, looking for Walker, incomplete, out of bounds. Correction, that was intended for Williams. Was able to leap and catch the big touchdown pass on 4th down in the first half, but no chance at that one. 2:21 to go. And if Mandeville can't score here, they'll go home empty-handed after leading 9-6 through 2 quarters. Steele with time, stays in the pocket and fires complete over the middle to Roland Wallace. Wallace will be brought down right at the sticks, and it looks like enough as they wave the chains forward. The officials say 1st down, Skippers. Clock stops with 2:12 to go. Gain of 10 on the completion. Clock restarts now. Mandeville right on the ball, and they save seconds as Steele will go with a screen set up left side to Walker, who has room into Ponchatoula territory. Another 1st down inside the 45. Clock stops with 2 minutes to go. A 13-yard catch and run as Mosley makes the stop. And Mandeville built to play at pace. In a hurry here for sure. Down by 14. Quickly getting off the play, but Steele loses it, now picks it up, and able to throw, and it's almost intercepted, and it should have been by Dariel Wells. Not a good decision by Steele there. Receiver not even looking, although Jones was in the area. That'll stop the clock with 1:50 to go, but that ball went right through the hands of Dariel Wells. Could have been an interception. Steele gets new life as a result. 2nd and 10 from the Ponchatoula 43. Alone in the backfield. 5 split out wide. Steele will roll right again. Looking downfield, now under pressure, will throw it away. Logan Sanders in the area applying pressure. 3rd and 10 for Mandeville. And a string of struggles here for the Mandeville offense in the second half. Holmes and company simply haven't been able to get anything going. But still with life, they can punch it in right here. Timeouts in their pocket, potential for an onside kick as well. But first they need 6. Walker will line up to Steele's right. 2 wides to each side near hash. Steele with plenty of time here looking deep. Decides against it. Now looking to his left deep and will air it out and has a receiver, but it's underthrown and intercepted by Jalen Pines, who brings it back down the near sideline. Cuts back to the middle to the 30, to the 40. We have a flag down. He's going to take it to the house if Walker doesn't run him down, and he cannot. A touchdown for Ponchatoula, but a hanky of the yellow variety down back at the Ponchatoula 30-yard line with 1:15 to go. That flag came down after the interception, so for all intents and purposes, this game is in the win column for the Green Wave, but will that touchdown count? On the pick 6, it will not. Legal block in the back goes against the Green Wave, so the ball will be brought back inside the 20, but the interception by Jalen Pines, his 3rd of the season. That matches Tyreek Callahan for the team lead. And with 1:15 to go, Ponchatoula primed to go 5-0. Digging deep and playing much better football on both sides of the ball after trailing 9-6 at the break. They've dominated this half, 17-0. Block in the back is signaled again, and they'll spot the ball, I believe, at the 19-yard line, and they do. And you shouldn't see much more than likely Gross pounding away the clock as he lines up to the right of Holmes. Home fans excited by the excellent return by Pines. He doesn't get the touchdown, but he helps his team put this one away. And plenty of room for Gross left side. Longest run perhaps of the night, definitely of the half for him. 1st down as he rambles for 18 yards on the run. He's had to battle all night. Longest run for him since the first carry of the game when he had 26. And you have to understand how the Mandeville defense has to feel at this point. A bit fatigued as Ponchatoula's dominated possession here in the half as the clock ticks inside a minute. And that demoralized feeling of an opportunity that they may have let slip by. That's a bad snap, though, and Holmes has to fall on the loose ball at his own 28. That's the danger of working constantly out of the shotgun. Crazy things can happen. The clock's still running, 35 and counting, but Mandeville picks it up and scores. Far different finish than what we're going to see. And Mandeville's not worried about calling timeouts. It looks like they're content to go home. loss of 8 on the play. And it looks like the victory formation is the order of the night for the final play of the game. And it is. No mess up on the snap there. And Ponchatoula, the home side, all celebrate an impressive second half and a big 23-9 victory for the Green Wave over the Mandeville Skippers tonight. As Hank Tierney's bunch really came out and played much better football in the second half. And give Mandeville credit, they clearly have an outstanding defense, and they made Ponchatoula work for it. But in the end, as you figured he would, Jakyle Holmes got things going and made the big plays when they were needed. He'll finish unofficially with around 175 yards rushing and all 3 touchdowns for the Green Wave, including the 45-yard run in the first half, runs of 1 and 5 yards to finish off drives for Ponchatoula in the second half, as Mandeville took a 3-point lead into the break thanks to the touchdown connection, Darren Steele to Lavelle Williams. But after that, refreshed and hungry Ponchatoula really dominated in all 3 phases of the game, the final 24 minutes, coming away with a well-deserved 5th victory of the year. They improved to 5-0, including 2-0 in District 6 5A, and Mandeville will fall to 3-2 on the year, 1-1 in the district, thanks to Mandeville High and Ponchatoula High, in particular from Ponchatoula, head coach Hank Tierney and Tim Matei, for Matei being the athletic director here at Ponchatoula High School, for their help to put this broadcast on. We're happy to bring you a very important North Shore battle as part of 3 nights of live high school football. Tomorrow night on Sports NOLA and live on Channel 20, it's Holy Cross and Jesuit, Louisiana's oldest prep football rivalry. Tigers, Blue Jays, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase, and then live on Sports NOLA, 7 o'clock from City Park on Saturday. Another Catholic League matchup, St. Augustine and Brother Martin. The Battle of Gentilly between the Purple Knights and the Brother Martin Crusaders starts at 7, live at sportsnola.com. Thanks to Chip Merritt, Albert Garrett for their opportunity to come over here with me and bring you this great football game and their great work tonight. Jude Young signing off from the North Shore. Again, Ponchatoula wins it 23-9 over Mandeville. This has been sportsnola.com Prep Football presented by First NBC Bank.